So do y'all have a second to stay around for the shit we're into segment?
Sure, let's hear it.
Okay. All right. So
Tessa's favorite segment of the show every day.
It is my favorite segment of the show.
I think she just likes saying shit we're into.
I do. It's true. Y'all know. But no, today in shit we're into, we're talking about YouTube shows and YouTube videos that we like.
Yeah, for folks that, are home more right now because of this, hopefully everybody's home more. Mm-hmm. And some folks have had to cut back a little bit on some expenses.
Cutting the cable.
Cutting the cable, cutting the Hulu, cutting the Netflix, maybe cutting back financially. Maybe you've got more mouths in the house that you're having to feed every day, and maybe you're not making as much money. You might be on unemployment if you're in some of these positions, which obviously doesn't pay you what you made when you were working full time. So there's some people cutting back, and we wanted to talk about some entertainment that's out there that is free. Mm-hmm. And there's lots of really good entertainment on YouTube.
And information.
Lots of information.
Just saying.
Small Talk, Arkansas. Yeah. That's where
we're there.
We're there every day. So you guys should check that out. But we wanted to bring some shows that we enjoy watching on a regular basis, both for informational purposes, news, and for entertainment, and wanted to know, Shannon, Tim, if you guys, is there any YouTube shows that you guys watch on a regular basis? Besides Small Talk Arkansas.
Of course.
Yeah, right now we've been watching DIY YouTube, several things that we're wanting to do around the house.
Yeah.
That's where we are.
Yeah.
Okay.
Tim, what has she got you planning to do?
Man, we got landscaping projects, we got bathroom projects, we got sprinklers, you name it.
You name it, y'all are YouTubing it.
I can use any advice.
But to y'all's point, that's because we're really not wanting to spend money to have people come out and do things that we would have maybe done before. Mm-hmm. So YouTube's really come in handy for us as far as self-educating on some. Oh, sorry, that's the squawk.
Oh, the squawk's a squawking.
If that cuts you guys short, we understand.
Yes, absolutely. We can.
No, we're good.
Okay.
Yeah, if y'all have any suggestions or know-how.
Yeah, there's the thing is you can learn anything on YouTube today. I mean, you can Netflix or YouTube. I keep saying Netflix. You can get on YouTube and do a search and find anybody doing anything.
Anything you want to learn.
What about you guys? I'm dying to hear this.
So from a standpoint, obviously from an entertainment standpoint and educational, I don't know, you guys know Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan has the Joe Rogan Experience show that I believe is a daily podcast. There's something that he puts out every single day, but lots of really, he's, depending on the guest, some of the guests I absolutely know without a doubt, and some of them I have no idea who they are. But he does a show very similar to Small Talk Arkansas. I think he decided to follow what we're doing.
Oh, did he?
He has millions, maybe billions of followers. I don't know. But he sits and just does interviews, and the host or the guests that he has on are really usually pretty interesting, and they talk about all subjects. So Joe Rogan Experience is a pretty good show. There's one that we watch regularly, and they put out a weekly show, and it's Eamon and Beck. And they travel around the world.
They live in a van.
They live in a van. They live in a Sprinter van.
A really badass van.
And they travel around the world. They're from Canada, and they started in Canada, and then they traveled the U.S., and then they traveled South America. And recently they've been in Africa. And they just left Morocco. They took the last flight out of Morocco, left their van behind, which is their home, and jumped on a plane and went back to Canada with the idea that hopefully their home still exists and they're able to go back to it at some point in time. But, Eamon and Beck is a really cool show. It definitely teaches you how to, two people basically live in 100 square feet or
maybe
or
a little less.
Yeah, a van is.
Yeah.
And they do everything in it. So, talking about growing together as a couple, they definitely understand that and really, they do a really good job of showing people how to do that. Because
they live a healthy lifestyle. They're vegan and they're cooking all kinds of beautiful vegetable-based dishes on this tiny little stove. And I'm like, oh, where can I order that?
That's probably, I'm definitely going to tune into that because I truly think that I could live that way. I really, really do. And I love that minimalist mindset that they're living. And what do you guys think? You think people are going to head that direction after all of this and think more like?
I definitely think there is more and more people that are going, hey, that 60-hour week job that I had before this, my priorities are changing, and now I want to live a better life, not necessarily have more money and have more things. So I think that, hey, I own 10 outfits instead I have 10 closets full of clothes. It is realistically where a lot of Americans are probably headed.
Yeah, I definitely see a trend, especially with in that aspect, like capsule wardrobes and stuff like that. There's a lot of stuff out there for that where, we're getting rid of the shit we don't need.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know what's funny? When they started, like, in our office, it's just one big floor. And so we got 100 people on the trading floor itself. And they started thinning the herd and sending guys to different locations and then sending, people to work remotely. And I resisted it so much. I was so pissed off about not leaving on my terms.
Mm-hmm.
But then once I finally came to grips with it and changed my whole mindset, I was like, you know what? If I can figure this out, then I could do this from anywhere. And if we wanted to go camping in Colorado for a month, I'll take my laptop and I'll work from there. So it's all about mindset, I think.
Yeah.
And figuring it out.
It absolutely is.
I think a lot of what you talked about with the kids in their school, take into consideration the same thing. Maybe, in the future, somebody could, you could take your kids to Colorado camping for a month and they could still do their schoolwork.
Right? Don't you think that would be such a fun way to live? Like, how did we get away from that? It became such everyone spend time somewhere else, but not together society. So to be able to get back maybe to our roots of just having that true family unit and needing less and less outside entertainment, but still be able to function, obviously, and have an income and get educated. I'd totally be down with that. A Sprinter van, Tim and I talk all the time about how fun it would be to have a Sprinter van and just set off with Wi-Fi, and they can really pimp those things out these days.
Yeah.
Well, guys, I have one, and we would love to travel with you guys in a group. You guys buy one, put one together.
Have a little caravan.
There's lots of DIY. Go buy a cheap van and build it out yourself. Maybe you guys that could be your next project. There's a lot of those on YouTube.
Once you cross off some stuff on that list,
get
y'all a van.
We'll YouTube that DIY project all day.
Another show that Tess really enjoys that we found, I guess, last week or the week before, but he's in like the 3rd or 4th season of it. But
it's so good. It's a hiking with Kevin Nealon. Like he talks like he's just hiking through LA and he takes celebrities and they talk about all kinds of stuff and it's super funny and he's got his little GoPro and he's hilarious and I just love it. I mean, he's just like, oh, look, I'm out for my little daily hike and oh, I ran into this super famous person and here we are, hiking away.
So you say hiking in LA. Now that would make most people think it's in a city setting.
But it's not.
He's hiking out in the mountains.
Out in the mountains, yeah.
And for instance, the last episode we watched a couple days ago was with Owen Wilson.
Yeah.
And he's just walking and interviewing Owen Wilson, and there's really no questions that are on the table or off the table. They just talk for 45 minutes or whatever the period of the show is. And Kevin Nealon, if you know much, the guy is a comedian. Amazing.
He's hilarious.
He's hilarious.
Yeah. And oh my God, he's got his little like safari hats on and it's so cute.
So, that's a funny show. One that I really enjoy, that's more of an entertainment or educational, solving the money problem. It's a new guy that's not been out. He started his show, I think, in November. And a lot of his stuff is around Tesla. If you're familiar with the Tesla company, a lot of his talks on a daily basis. I think that's why his popularity has soared so quickly. He's not in America, and his takes on the economy, both from a world economy, but a lot of especially U.S. economy, it's just amazing. His takes and where he comes with information is really cool. And another one that is definitely entertainment purposes that's got a huge following, and that's Casey Neistat. We're going to put all the links for all of those shows down in the comments below, so anybody that's interested in checking those out. And then we hope in the comments you guys will share the shows with us that we should go check out.
Yeah, what are y'all watching?
What is it that you're watching on YouTube? We definitely need to know that.
Mm-hmm. Well, Shannon and Tim, thank you so much for being on our show today. We sure appreciate it.
We had a blast.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Yes, we'll talk to you soon.
Thanks, guys.
All right, sounds good. Bye.
All right. So what shit are you into right now? Let us know your shows. Let us know what shit you want us to talk about. We need to know.